Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. What is going on, guys, girls, anything in between? How's it going? This is the worst intro I've ever done. Sorry, I'm completely exhausted. It's your boy Monk, the Monkmatician. It's your boy Lou at Lou Betya, and we are here to break down every single fight, all 13 fights for UFC 277, happening live tomorrow in Dallas, Texas at the normal time. So you don't have to get your bets in early. You don't have to get your DFS lineups in early. Just the normal time, guys. It is happy hour. Hope you got a drink or something next to you. Got your notepad out. Let's get some tips, some bets, and some DFS advice for this card. Lou, how's it going? You looking forward to all 13 fights on this pay-per-view card on Saturday?
I wouldn't say all 13, but I am
looking
forward to
a decent amount.
looking forward to a night of fights. We had some drama at the weigh-ins. We had some good stuff last night talking with Liam and the Council of Geniuses. So
nice.
I feel good about some spots. There's some spots that I have some instinctual problems with. We'll cover all that. But let me shout out the chat real quick. If I may, while I'm here. We got Propaholic here, my guy. We got Chronic Combat. We got Mauler. We got Patrick, my guy addicted to combat. We got Zach Singleton and Chris for the love of MMA.
Monkey, yes, sir.
And right on time, Dan Goldstein is here. My guy Dan, who does not get a free pass on Wheezy's channel, but as he said, but he definitely gets a free pass on this one because we're helping Dan get his tight 5 ready for his eventual stand-up act.
Nice. We're a team Dan over here. I'll tell you that much. That much I know for sure. I don't have to have a good night's sleep to know that I'm team Dan.
Honorary Philly guy, Dan Goldstein.
Nice. All right. Hell yeah. Well, Lou, should we get right into the fights, man? Let's kind of go through these a little bit.
He beat me to he beat me to the joke, but I did say this last night that I said last night that I don't know how this isn't his nickname. It's terrible. Like if he came out and his name was Old Fashioned Hamdi, I'd like
I bet in all the money. Yeah,
max exactly.
bet. What makes a Hamdi old fashioned?
I know how to make
an old bourbon.
I know how to make an old fashioned. It's the orange rind.
Okay.
That makes
nice.
It Hamdi.
It does. That's true. Well, let's start off with a completely random fight. Kosuke and Mateta. I don't know. I mean, I guess for DraftKings guys, you have, and I hate saying this, I hate saying this, but you have to play at least a little bit of both sides because you don't know what's going to happen. These two guys are both not good. Kosuke's probably better, but then he missed weight this morning. Or did he miss weight? 2 pounds? Okay, so he misses weight, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, as Mr. Singleton in the chat says. Sometimes that does turn out to be an advantage. But these two guys are terrible at fighting. Mateta, the only reason he's even here is because he knows Izzy. I don't see how he's... I mean, his opponent in the last fight fell down in the octagon, and then Mateta got submitted 4 minutes later. So you're going to have to play both sides of this. Both guys give up a ton of points. Kosuke scores okay. He should probably win this fight, but this is such a high variance fight. If you tell me what's going to happen, I'll just say okay, because I have no freaking clue. There's no way to predict it. 8,800 for Kosuke is crazy, but it could turn out to be cheap if he dismantles Blood Diamond in the first round. So what do you think about this one?
I think one of two things happens, and they both scream under for me. If you have fight doesn't start round 3, like DraftKings and FanDuel offer, I like that a little better. I think under 2.5 is a little juice. It's a parlay piece at best. I think it's I had it written down. I think it was minus 190 on my one book, but Kosuke should take him down immediately. I mean, the missed weight's shouldn't affect that.
Right.
He should take Blood Diamond down. What I worry about is if he doesn't get him out of there in the first. I think with the way he looked on the scales, and I don't think he has great cardio anyway. I mean, like, look, Kosuke is like basically an Alaskan FC fighter, like as far as I'm concerned. Like he kind of fits the model of like he's a can crusher that has 5 minutes of cardio. I'm not even really that impressed with Blood Diamond striking, but Kosuke is coming off getting knocked out. And if this thing gets past the first, is Blood Diamond live to knock him out? I guess, but I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to play the under. It's the first fight of the night. I don't have the confidence in either one. The official pick for the show is still Kosuke, but I like the under. Yeah, but if you're looking to play the prop market, Kosuke round 1 doesn't pay shit. But Blood Diamond round 2 KO is 10-1, and round 3 KO, which I don't think it'll get to round 3, is 18-1. The round 2 KO by Blood Diamond is, I guess, sort of interesting. I don't think I can get there. I probably need better than 10-1, honestly, because there's a very good
Agreed.
chance Kosei could put him out in the first round. And if you have any kind of like fantasy stuff that you're playing, like prize picks with like over under takedowns for Kosei, go take the under, because I think Blood Diamond has shown no get up game. Like one takedown
0
will be the only takedown that happens. So
yeah, I've heard that people coming in saying Kosuke could just land takedown after takedown. I'm like, that relies on the Blood Diamond being able to stand up after the first one.
Yeah, and Jordan, we just said, he missed weight and he looked rough, but I mean, I hate to say this, like Blood Diamond is that bad and that bad at defending a takedown that, I mean, Kosei could lay on him and really not expend a ton of cardio. So, you know, I actually thought about, do I dare play Blood Diamond 60 seconds or less finish? Like, but then he has to like land something.
Exactly.
I'm not convinced he can. So
I mean, this number here, I know this is DraftKings, but 0.11 points a minute. I don't know if I've ever seen a number that's that low before. So he did absolutely nothing in 5 minutes against was it Jeremiah Wells. So yeah, I mean, Jeremiah Wells took himself down and still managed to smash Blood Diamond in 4 minutes later. So here's here's another one that yeah, he's shaking his head already. I should have known. Negu Mariano. Let's all be very careful in how we say that. I call him Nicky Gums to avoid any confusion. Going against the DWCS newcomer Ihor Pateria. I'm sure I messed up that guy's name. What do you got for this one, Lou?
So shout out to my guys Magic and Andrew, because they're trying to get a nickname going for Nick. The Transylvanian Pain Train, and I'm here for it.
Oh wow,
I think it's an awesome nickname. So like,
it's a mouthful.
Full credit to Andrew and Magic for using that on their show. I believe this is the second time they've called them that. But yeah, like, so this is your Yam Bag special, ladies and gentlemen.
There it is.
You know, Negu Morono is coming off getting fouled repeatedly by Nchukwu. And
yep,
Pateria is kind of like a nut job. Like, I've watched this tape, and I mean, it's what's out there. But his record is, I mean, this is Askarov 2-0. Like, he has
That's what I'm hearing.
He has 3. I mean, they explained about, like, I got an explanation for like that he has amateur fights listed a couple of years ago. Apparently, it was like a tournament where he wasn't getting paid. But he's got like 3 fights in one night for the same event. But then there's another one on the same event that was months later. It's weird. It's a lot of padding.
So he's probably not 20-2.
But let's add some science to the Yam Bags here. So
yes,
I am debating doing a Yam Bag round robin, just throwing 4 fights in a Yam Bag play. Maybe I'll just hit one. I don't know. But we have 4 fights on the card that are orthodox against southpaw, and typically that it gives you a little more percentage. The stances are open. So this is one of them: Ankalaev and Smith, Dober, Alves, and Morales and Fugitt. So I like this to be sloppy and weird. I know people were betting Negu Morono like earlier in the week. Now he's minus 120. So if you liked him, you missed the number. I can't back Pateria here at all. I don't understand why the total is under 2.5 is so juiced. I mean, Negu Morono is like, can take shots, and I don't know what we're going to see with Pateria, but Nick hasn't proven he's some like finisher. He finished like Villanueva. That doesn't really,
right? Yeah, who hasn't?
I mean, I'm not going to take a lot of stock into that. So I'm laying off this fight just for Yam Bags. For the sake of the show, for a pick, I'd play. I know that I think Wheezy's big on like, I think he has a finish prop here, but I'm on this fight going the distance. I just don't see.
Ooh.
I don't know how Pateria wins a decision, and I don't think he can knock out Negu Morono. And Nick has not shown, like I said, he's not really showing that he's got some kind of elite finish ability. So I would lean fight goes, but I'm not going to touch this one. I'm not going to get to the window except for a little poke on Yam Bag Yahtzee here.
I love that look because, yeah, I mean, I hate betting guys, see a Monk, like him or not, when he makes bets, we take out guys that don't have, have less than 15 minutes of UFC fight time. We don't know enough about them, what they can do in the octagon. No matter how many amateur fights you may have won in one night by way of, spinning elbow or spinning head kick. We just don't know what's going to happen. For DraftKings, I'm going to have to be God, I hate this fight for DraftKings, to be honest. Hopefully Lou's right, and it does go the distance. In that case, my fade for both sides will pay off. Negu Mariano, 2 points a minute, 81 in his 3 UFC wins on average. Pateria did score well in his DWCS fight, 5.8 a minute, but he also gave up over 4 points a minute. So someone's going to have to win this fight. I'll probably fade both sides. To be honest, I'm picking Nicky Gums just because the UFC experience. He's got 46 minutes of cage time compared to 3.5 of Dana White Contender Series cage time. So I'm going with the more experienced guy, even though he probably sucks. But yeah, I mean, who's to say Ihor doesn't suck as well? So I'll probably be fading a bit of both of these, and I'll be looking, maybe at the heavyweight fight between Lewis and Pavlovich a bit more. Right around this salary range. That's the fight I'll be targeting. So let's keep it moving. Excuse me. Next fight, another barn burner, guys. Ji-Young Kim, Uncle Weezy's fighter of the week, going against Joselyn Edwards. I'll go ahead and start this one off. Big fade on this one. If I'm going to be on any side, I'm going to be on the Kim side probably. Joselyn Edwards doesn't seem to offer up much that I could get excited for as far as DraftKings. She did beat Ramona Pascual. Actually scored 99 points in that fight, surprisingly. Let's see. She outlanded Ramona by 100 strikes, but did get taken down once and controlled for a bit of the fight. Meanwhile, Ji-Young Kim just casually going 1-4 in her last UFC fight. You assume she has to get a win here in order to stay in the promotion. Her strength of schedule is like 10, 15, almost 20 points better than Joselyn Edwards. So give me the desperation of Ji-Young Kim to pay off and get a boring win here. It probably goes to decision. Winner scores, 70, 75 points. I'll be big fading this one, but if I am playing a side, I'll have shares of Ji-Young Kim. What do you got for this one?
Another one I'm not interested in betting at the moment, but I kind of like the idea of betting the split decisions here. I think that I don't see this fight ever finishing. And Kim's the only one with any kind of finish equity here. She does punch hard. The problem is she doesn't land. But Kim's split decision is plus 800. Edwards is plus 750. I think with Edwards, and I'm not saying Edwards has been super impressive. I don't care about the weight miss today because she didn't look bad. She missed by 1.5 pounds, but she didn't look at all.
Ooh, another miss, huh?
Yeah, but she didn't look bad, and she took the short notice. So I don't really have a problem with the myths. So Ramona Pascual is awful. Is just not a UFC fighter.
Agreed.
But Edwards did what she had to do. She pitter-pattered her. Just looks busy. She's the busier fighter. It doesn't mean she's being effective, but she always looks like she's the busier fighter. She's constantly moving. She's constantly throwing kicks, punches. She looks the more active one. The Kim side is the one that's going to win the big moments if she does land some power shots. She's coming off a very questionable result to Cachoeira.
Yep.
I know people screamed robbery. I thought that Kim won, but I don't think it was a horrible robbery. I mean, it wasn't. I thought Kim won the fight though, like after a rewatch. But I can understand at least the damage. Great fight to watch. I do not think we're getting that kind of fight here. I think Edwards is going to keep her at distance, and maybe Kim lands 1 or 2 shots around. Edwards has never been knocked out in her career, so I'm not sure that Kim gets it. But if you get a fight where Edwards is throwing 3.5 minutes of like little pitter-patter shots and Kim does land 2 or 3 really, really big shots in the round, it gets dicey for how you judge it. So if you're going to bet it, take a poke at a split decision prop here. The pick is Edwards, that without confidence for the pick for the sake of the show. But Edwards split decision at plus 750 is not, a horrible.
It's not bad.
Not a horrible way to play it.
No, and that goes right with my DraftKings analysis, if you want to call it that. Kind of fading this one, the winner by decision, 70, 75, 80 points, probably not going to be enough to make the optimal lineup. Speaking of optimal lineup, let's go. $9,500 Michael Morales going against $6,700 Adam Fugitt. I've heard several people calling him Fugitt. I refuse to do that. He is, Adam Fugitt until I've heard otherwise. Lou, what do you got for this one? Anything for the 2 relatively inexperienced UFC guys?
Yeah, this is tricky. So Fugitt, if you look, he's had 40 seconds of cage time in 3 years. He beat Solomon Renfro, and beating Solomon Renfro in 40 seconds isn't impressive. Do you know what is impressive to me? Beating him by split decision on the Contender Series. That impresses me. I think there's only one guy that ever beat Solomon Renfro by split decision on the Contender Series. Do you know who that was, Monk?
Who's that?
Do you want to take a guess who that was?
Contender Series?
The immortal Johnny, by God, Parsons. Beat Solomon Renfro by split decision. Look, he could have knocked him out in 10 seconds. He's like, nah, I want to show him my whole skill set, and then I want to barely win. And he did. And also, I had a bet on him by split decision, and he must have known that. So, Fugitt's not terrible. He's got some decent skills. You know, the Kalen Hill fights, the last one that he got knocked out. He made a mistake. He ran into a punch. He's a gamer. He's got some energy. He's got some okay grappling. Like, he does have some submissions, but he's submitting guys that have no defense. Yeah. On the flip side, Morales looks like the real deal. It's really hard to back a 21-year-old at minus 600, though. So even his finish prop is minus 200. It's terrible to me. So I don't have any kind of play on this one either. I hate having a bunch of fights in a row around of action, but the minus 200 for his finish prop is insane. Yeah. I even thought about maybe taking a shot at the over 1.5 at minus 110. But honestly, and I'll say it the way that J-Dub says it, Fugitt.
I like it.
If he comes in and even with a tamer game plan, Morales just bring the fight to him. I just don't know what kind of game plan we're getting out of him. If it becomes a war, under 1.5 looks great. If he's pacing his cardio because it's short notice, maybe he lays back. Maybe there's a respect for each other's power at first. But I just don't see an angle here that makes sense equity-wise. So I'm off this one completely.
I like it. I don't have any stats really for either guy. I mean, Morales, I have one fight worth of stats, 6.77 points a minute, but that's only in 4 minutes, 118 when he got that win over Trevin Giles. So very impressive coming against a guy who has fought in the UFC before. I'm strictly going about this from a salary voodoo perspective, guys. 9,500 is, I mean, I'm playing it. I'm smashing it every single time DraftKings offers it. Let's go into the, don't mind the extreme Excel mess. I know you don't know what you're looking at, but 9,500 makes optimal 53, almost 54% of the time, 84.5% win percentage. And when it does win, makes optimal 63% of the time. By far the best salary you can play on DraftKings. And, you know, opposite that, Adam Fugitt, $6,700, the worst possible salary you can play. It only has 2 wins out of it, like 26 uses. I think one time it's made optimal, and that was our guy, Mike Jackson, getting yam bagged onto the optimal lineup, as we've said before. So I'm smashing Michael Morales, 9,500. I'll have him in at least 50% of my lineups. Wherever I'm not playing, actually, we'll get into that later. But yeah, that's how I'm playing this one. Maybe the inexperience does show, but I'm playing this one just based on salary statistics because I have no actual statistics to base this off. So give me Michael Morales at 9,500. Big fade on the newcomer Fugitt. Next fight, Dracar Close. Here's where we get into some meatier fights here. Dracar Close going against Rafa Garcia. Excuse me, he is from Mexico. You do say that R. So Rafa Garcia. 9,100 for Close, 71 for Garcia. I'm completely dog or pass on this one as far as DraftKings goes. The upside for Garcia is pretty good. 3.6 a minute, 104 when he wins. He's almost 1,000 under his average salary. Meanwhile, you're paying up $800 from his average for Dracar Close. Scores well per minute, but less than 88 points when he wins, guys. I'm just not impressed with any of the DraftKings numbers from Close. He does score a point per minute in takedowns and control time, but Garcia does not give up a ton that way. In fact, he's top 5 defensively in those categories, and he himself scores almost 2 points a minute in those 2 categories. So I think it's Dracar Close who's going to have to be on the defense when it comes to takedowns and whatnot. I mean, Close is 4-1 in his last 5, but he's coming off a win over Brandon Jenkins. Like, yeah, but that's Brandon Jenkins. Like, who doesn't knock out Brandon? He was minus 675 against Jenkins. Other than that, he hasn't really. I mean, he beat Bobby Green, which was a good win. But according to the Ass Whoop Index, he didn't even win that fight. So if you take out the round by round and just use stats, Bobby Green kind of smashed him, actually. And then wins over Giagos and Venata, who are not too impressive. So give me Rafa Garcia for the upside. $7,100. This dude's made the optimal 2 out of his past 4 fights. Give me the upside of Rafa Garcia here. Lou, what do you got as far as this one?
So I'm right there with you. I I don't have like a big, I don't know, think that Close is that great. I think beating Brandon Jenkins, I mean, he like 10-7'd him in the first round, basically, in a fight that probably shouldn't be sanctioned. But
right,
like what's his career been? You know, the whole incident with Jeremy Stevens is, I mean, Stevens is kind of maybe not the nicest, kindest human being, but still kind of a weird injury. You know, he got knocked out by Dariush. I don't want to say there's no shame in that because Dariush is good, but Dariush is not a knockout guy more than he is
yeah,
a grappler. And then look who he's beaten. He beat Giagos, who's, you know, not that great at the UFC level. He beat Bobby Green in a fight that I thought Bobby Green won. He beat Lando Venata. Like, I mean, he doesn't have a lot of power. He's just going to stay on his feet. He's going to peck away with jabs. He may go to the wrestling, but I think that would be a mistake here to go to the wrestling. And ultimately for me, I think this is going to be a close fight. It's going to go to the decision. I always want the underdog in a close fight. But more than that, if you're holding a -200 ticket with Dracar close and it gets to the third round, you know what kind of fighter Garcia is. Even when he's tired, he fights through it. He's a guy who will fight for your money. I'd rather have the dog shot here on Garcia. So I'll take him outright. I actually think he's got third round potential, but I wouldn't bank on it. But if your book has the third round and decision prop, like Mushroom's not here. I know that's like his favorite thing to bet. Like if you have third round and decision with Garcia, I'm going to look up what it is. It's probably not bad. And I kind of think, I don't see him getting an early finish here. I think there's two ways to win, or, you know, down 2-0 late and he comes back in the third, or he just gets the grappling going and that's how it is. I got it up right now. It's plus 275. It's not too big of a heap here. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't do that then. It's plus 275 round 3 decision. I don't want to get greedy on that, but give me Rafa Garcia plus 185 to get a greasy fucking decision here.
Yeah, I don't see, if you're holding a Dracar close ticket at -200, I have questions. That's all I'm going to say. You know, I'm not trying to judge you, but I do have questions about that. The last thing I will say, Rafa Garcia, the second best DraftKings points per loss total on this card, 45.41 on average when he loses. So if it does go to decision, which I'm kind of hoping for, and he does end up losing that greasy decision, he should still score okay. He does have the potential anyway to score okay. So you're not going to get a 0 or anything. You're not going to get a 5 like we saw against who was it? Damir, not Hadzovic or whatever last week when he scored 5 points in a 15-minute decision. That was pretty pathetic. Next fight, I think, speaking of yam bags, maybe we'll get a ham bag on this one. Dontale Mays going against Hamdi, old-fashioned Hamdi Abdelwahab. Why don't you go ahead and start this one off? This is like one-way traffic for me, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I was really happy to watch all the tape on Hamdi, and my favorite fight he
fought is ridiculous looking.
Well, I know, but even if you go back before that, like, this is a guy, the fight was against Corey Norman, and he got Corey Norman, who has like no wrestling background, took him down. He looked fine. He got a reversal like 2 minutes later, but the only way he won that fight is the dude went for a Superman punch without actually throwing a punch. Like he just leapt into him with his chest, and Hamdi got him, and then he got him down, and then he started hitting him in the back of the neck with hammer fists, and he got disqualified for illegal blows to the back of the head. That kind of sums up like what he is. Now, it's still Dontale Mays. You know, he's coming off of a win by skull fuck against Josh Parisian, which is that's
way better than teabag.
was definitely something to watch. But I think Mays, his wrestling's decent. He's huge. He's gonna have all the intangible advantages here. He has experience advantage. I mean, I'm gonna play Mays in the distance at plus 125. I have it on my book, but I need to say this because it's important, is that from where this line opened to where it is now, I'm amazed is he 200 yet. He's depends on your book. He could be -200.
Jesus.
You guys got to understand that Vegas is going to be on the hook for a shit ton of liability here. They're going to be on the hook for a massive liability here. So I just wonder if there's something we don't know about this fight, I kind of think you're better off with the under 2.5 than taking Dontale Mayes outright. Under 2.5 is minus 170, 165 on your books. You're getting a better number for it than you are just taking Mayes outright. And like Moyes Audio just said, it's heavyweight. Like weird shit happens.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
especially the low level. Let's not forget low level heavies.
Weird, you know, it's like it's still Dontale Mayes, man. He's not a like you got to be careful here. Like now, what I really would have liked to have seen would have been Hamdi against Alan Badeau.
Oh my god!
Or like why can't Chase Sherman get?
Why can't I was going to say Chase Sherman? This is a Chase Sherman fight.
Like give Sherman like build him up, man. You know,
like, come on.
So look, I like the under more than anything here. I am gonna play Mayes in the distance because I kind of feel like I have to. But could Hamdi win round one? He could. I think he can take a punch. Like that's the thing. I don't think he loses getting knocked out by Mayes. I think he loses because I don't think he's gonna have good cardio. I think Mayes is gonna wear him out, and he's gonna get him out of there on the ground. Like I know Clint is playing the sub prop round 3 here. I'm not like, I mean, it's still Dontale Mayes. I'm not betting him round 3 submission.
Well, that was like plus 2,200 earlier in the week.
But he does have a few round 3 wins in his career. So, I mean, he took his time against Parisian. I think he can get Hamdi in a crucifix like he did against, and look, it was executed perfectly against Parisian. He worked for it. He worked them into the crucifix. And the fight was over. I don't see why he can't do that here. I doubt Hamdi will know how to fight off that. So, and look, you see these guys that have any kind of ground game. Like I said, Mayes is all right. But once you find something that works, he just won with this move. There's no reason when this fight hits the ground, he's not going to look for it again.
Yep.
So, I mean, I can't bet Mayes by crucifix, but I do think he pounds him out from the ground.
He could easily find his way in to that position for sure.
But if you're playing Hamdi round 1, it's a great point. It's a heavyweight fight. Weird shit happens, man. So
for sure. That's why for DraftKings, I'm equating this to the first fight of the night. Super low level, which means super high variance. Anything can happen. 7,700 is the best underdog salary you can play. In fact, the 4th best salary statistically overall. So that's going to Hamdi this week. I mean, I'd have to ignore all my own data to ignore him completely. So maybe hopefully that round 1 KO could be live here and he makes optimal. But Dontale Mayes, I mean, 8,500. Guy doesn't score 3 points a minute, 95 when he wins. He's only 2-2 in the UFC. I'm not going to get into the numbers too much. Like I said, very low level, so you have to play a bit of both sides because we don't know what's going to happen. This could be a 3-round boring decision as my light falls over. 3-round boring decision, or we could get a first-round sub knockout type thing here. Who knows? I mean, if anybody's telling you, I know this is going to happen, they're completely full of shit because this is such a low-level fight. There's no way to predict anything. So for DraftKings, you just got to, bite the belt and play a bit of both sides, even if you don't want to do that. Probably, 20% minimum, I'd say, of both sides. You got to get them in your lineups, guys. Low-level heavies. Got to do it. What? Is that true? For who?
That's some number.
For who?
Well,
Hamdi?
Not for Dontale. I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up. I mean,
what?
I mean, he's saying Mayes submission round 3. Mayes submission round 3 is listed. It depends on your book. It's listed at plus 7,500.
How wasn't it just 2,200 like yesterday?
I don't know, but this might be one of those. Lines that's not right. I'm pulling up.
I was going to say Clint needs to. he's
imagine
talking about a bet at 1,800. This is insane.
Imagine Clint got bad CLV on that.
$7,070 worth of bad CLV.
my book has it at plus 5,000. I'm gonna look at my other book.
Holy shit!
I'm gonna look at my other book right now. I think this may be.
That's
look, you saw what happened. You saw what happened last week, right? When we had the bet with
the Diakese,
and they voided the bet,
right?
Which is crappy. But hey, man, sometimes these books that's why it pays to keep checking, and you never know. But let me see.
Jesus, that's an insane number.
Let me see. Dontale. Wow. Betway has Dontale Mays to win by submission in round 3 at plus 8,500.
Well,
Wow.
I mean, talk about bad CLV. That is the worst example I've ever seen.
I'm telling my buddies, send me more money immediately.
Yeah, you do that. I'll start this next one. That is incredible. My God, Moy's audio. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. That's a show-stopping number, literally right there. Stops the show so we can check. Drew Dober, another good one, going against Rafael Alves. This guy is from Brazil. Rafael Alves, 9,000 for Dober, a fantastic salary to play. Guy puts up over 3 a minute, almost 101 to 1. My God, Dan, you're being serious? I thought you. Oh, Clint did just sub prop. Okay, wait. Well, we'll get to the bottom of that.
He did sub
round 3. That's what I thought. 3 points a minute, 100 points when he wins for Dober. He also gives up a ton, though, as you can tell by the amount of times he has been finished in the UFC by submission. 3.41 points a minute is what he's given up. He's coming in about 500 over his average salary. And guys, we do have to watch out. If you're on the Dober side, which I probably am, we have to be careful of the submission finish here. Even though Rafael only has 1 win in the UFC so far by submission, I guess that he only has 2 UFC fights, so 50%, not a bad number. $7,200. His raw DraftKings points per minute leaves something to be desired at 1.5, but it still ends up to score over 90 points per minute or per win. Wow, if I could actually speak. Also gives up a ton, 3.84 per minute. He's only $100 more than his average. This one could be interesting. Drew Dober never in a boring fight, in my opinion. That fight was his last one against, Terrence McKinney. Absolutely ridiculous for as long as it lasted, about 3.5 minutes. He loses to Riddell, loses to Islam, but then, before that beats Hernandez and Nasrat Haqparast, who's probably not very good. But Drew Dober, I mean, how do you not like the guy? I'm as straight as they come, but man, Drew Dober, that is one handsome son of a bitch. It's him against Ji-Young Kim, who's got the most handsome haircut. I'm going with Drew Dober, to be honest. Sorry, Uncle Weezy, but geez, come on, man. I just like a little bit of the Rafael Alves side. I'll be strong on Dober because 9,000 is a great salary, but I'll throw a little bit on Rafael Alves too, because you never know what's going to happen. Drew gets wobbled, Drew gets submitted. Who knows? I don't want to have zero of the guy who's beaten Drew Dober. So what do you got for this one? Anything to back up the Rafael Alves side?
Well, let's talk about the most important thing first, and that's how that Dober also, he didn't miss weight today, but he looked off.
Drew Dober
doing
can't
some kind of weird trick
he looks
to
off.
he was doing some kind of weird trick to hold the scale. It was really strange, but he made weight. But after that happened, money came flooding in on Alves. He's down to plus 145 now. He took a major market move this afternoon. So
that's interesting.
I mean a major market move. I think Dober was minus 200 at some books. Now he's minus 170. So
whoa.
So now, well, okay, this guy's he's beating me to everything here. So he's beating me to everything. So yesterday I gave out Dober round 2 KO, and I explained why, and that Alves would come out hot. He would go for the submissions. He may knock Dober down. Ultimately, I still think Alves goes down, goes for a guillotine. If he doesn't get it, he's in an absolutely horrible position, and he gets pounded out by Dober. That being said, I had even said I debated doing Alves round 1 sub. It's plus 950, plus 1,000, depending on your book. I do believe it's a no-brainer. I think that's his winning condition. I don't see either guy winning a decision here. I love the time props. The under's a little juiced. It's minus 190. But I do think you have to play Alves round 1. I know Patrick's big on it. I know he's playing that prop. I think Locke's playing that prop. There's a lot of dudes that are on that prop, and maybe some ladies. I don't know. I'm just the people that I know are taking it are all males. But I think it's a must play. But I think Dober round 2 KO, it's still one of my favorite props. He didn't look that bad to throw me off it, but the market movement is very concerning for me right here.
Dude, our chat seems to be big on Alves as well. And just go back. I mean, look at what Mark D. Casey's done in his past 2 fights. and then go back to, I think is the fight before that where he gets subbed by our guy Rafael Alves in the first round. As Addicted said, took his neck home with him. And
But how did he get subbed? He dove
in. Yeah, right.
So like,
Dober's not beneath doing that. That's for sure.
No, he's not. And he can get rocked. And he can get rocked and then taken down. So
yeah, this one's going to be interesting. I think you got to play this one. I like the breakdown. I'll be a little bit heavier now on that Alves side between you and the chat. I'm rooting for him. I mean, like I said, I got nothing against Dober, but it would be nice to see Rafael get this one, get 2 in a row in the UFC. Let's keep it moving. Alex, don't call me Brandon Morono, going against Matthew Semi the Jedi Semelsberger. 2 great nicknames, if you ask me. What do you got for this one as far as a betting angle?
Yeah, I thought I'd be on Morono pre-tape, and the more I watched the tape, the more I think this actually is a really bad matchup for Morono. I'm weirdly impressed with Semelsberger's win against Fletcher. I know AJ Fletcher came in short notice, but Fletcher he threw something at him that he hadn't really seen before on the ground. Yep. He made it weirdly ugly, and Semelsberger battled through the adversity. It's different than the Chaos Williams one where it was just stand up for 15 minutes. He couldn't get his range going. I can't make much of Semelsberger's 2 20-second KOs here either, but the Fletcher fight was impressive to me. It was impressive the way he adjusted mid-fight, came back. Now, everybody's assuming Morono is going to go to the ground here and grapple, but I've seen Morono fight enough times to know he's probably going to have a stand-up war. It's what he wants to do. Whether or not it's the path of least resistance, it's what he's going to want to do. Mm-hmm. And I think Semelsberger is going to knock him the F out.
Nice. I love it.
In round 1. He's going to get a round 1 KO. I know it seems like a weird way to play against Morono, but I don't think he's defensively responsible. I don't fully trust his durability. And Semelsberger is the kind of guy, all he needs to do is get 1 or 2 shots on you standing to put you out. So, and let's be honest, UFC seems to really like Semelsberger. They're pushing this guy. They really believe in him. Like, they're bringing him along at a nice pace. I mean, look, whoever they gave Sano to is like, here's a gift, dude. Here's a highlight reel. So I think they're backing him a lot. I don't, Morono, look, I get that it's the end of Shark Week. You know, I get it. The Great White and all that. Like, I understand. But give me Semelsberger to get it done. I have a money line. I got him at -155, which is, I kind of missed the boat on the better line. But his KO prop is +200 or 225. It's not bad. My book has a lower number on that, but yeah, I like Semelsberger big. The tape really went the other way that I thought I was going to go with.
Interesting. That is huge for me because as far as DraftKings go, I am loving the Semelsberger side, and I will be fading the Morono side. Morono, and you know how much I love the $9,500 salary, came in at that salary against Mickey Gall. Come on now, Mickey Gall. And he didn't even score 80 points in a win. So his DraftKings, I won't go over all the numbers I did in my game theory video, which you can check out on the MonkMMATics channel. But Morono is subpar scoring, to say the least, whereas Semelsberger has gigantic DraftKings upside, 3.4 a minute, 104, and he wins. He's only 180 over his average. And like Lou said, he's got the power to do this, to finish Morono in the first round, which I absolutely love that look. If that happens, we're going to the optimal, baby. And then after that, we're going to Sizzler. So yeah, give me Semelsberger for sure at 8,600. Not going to be hard to get to. I just don't see any upside from Alex Morono. Less than 0.3 points a minute in takedowns and control time. Give me Semelsberger, baby. I don't have to get too much into it. Lou did a great job breaking this one down, and I completely agree with him. So give me.
I can break down fights.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm more than a comedian. I can break down fights. I just rather be funny. I don't have to tell you.
Hey, you can do both. You're out here proving it, my guy. You can do both. Next fight. Let's keep it moving since we both like Semi the Jedi or Semi the Jedi if you're a Demi Moore type person. Magomed Ankalaev going against my guy from Omaha, Anthony Smith. I'll go ahead and start this one off. It is heartbreaking for me to even have to say all this. I love Anthony Smith. I hope he doesn't watch this because I don't know. I don't know how. I'm trying to justify in my head how I could possibly play him or pick him for a bet. I just can't. He is $1,200 under his average, but he scores like shit, man. 2 points a minute, 92, and he wins. He gives up almost 4 points a minute, -19 on average when he loses, and this is over 6 UFC losses. He only scores 0.3 points in takedowns and control time. His game is, he's going to get, taken down. He's going to end up on the ground eventually, and he's just going to hope to find a submission or reverse you and pound you out with some ground and pound. So Ankalaev is a tough ticket here. 3.32 points a minute, 93 when he wins. Not great numbers. I'm not rushing to the DFS window to put him in my lineups necessarily. 1.31 points a minute is all he gives up. So, and 68 in his one loss. I mean, the numbers are screaming Magomed Ankalaev. And in fact, the $9,400 salary, we'll go a little salary voodoo here, is the second best salary to play. It is significantly lower than the $9,500, but still the second best salary. So anywhere I'm not playing Michael Morales, I'll probably put in Ankalaev in those lineups. I mean, I'll ride with Lionheart all day, man. I love that dude. Support him. Hometown guy. Seems like a nice dude. Tough son of a bitch. Maybe you can help me out here, man. I just don't see how he gets this one done. I don't, and I'm trying to. I want to. I sound like I'm pleading with the girl. Please stay with me. Stay with me. That's how I feel with Anthony Smith here. So what's your take on this one? Am I crazy? Is there any window where Anthony Smith gets the dub here?
So let's talk about the story of the dude coming into his house that was on meth that he couldn't beat up, because that's like a red flag.
Yeah.
So
true.
So my favorite bet here, which is the price here is awesome, is fight doesn't go at even money. And it's more you're going with Smith's history than Ankalaev's. Smith is kill or be killed. He's not trying to go out there and win minutes. He's trying to do something devastating. He's looking for a choke. He's looking for a knockout shot. Like, that's what he's doing. Do not follow my pick here. I'm on Anthony Smith, and I'm on Anthony Smith round 3. I think he's got vet savvy.
Okay.
Look, there's no logic. Like, I'm just going to lose money on it, but I don't care. You can't, if you're going to bet the Ankalaev side, it can't be just, he's not a parlay stuffer. You got to bet him with some kind of a prop.
Yeah.
Typically, he would win by decision. And I see people in chat. I know that people are going to be on the decision prop. But Anthony Smith is the kind of fighter that does not let you win by decision. You look at the guy, like, now, I know Smith is a better fighter than Kutayaba.
Mm-hmm.
But you saw with the Kutayaba fights, when you're a pressure fighter that makes Ankalaev have to react, that puts him in these situations, Ankalaev comes out furious. So I think Smith he could get murdered coming in and making mistakes. There's all this assumption that Ankalaev is going to keep taking him down just because Jimmy Crute did it with no legs. But Ankalaev is not some dude in all his fights that's so proactively going for the grappling. He's not. He likes to stand up. The thing is he's going to fight a reactionary fight to whatever Smith does. If he can't handle Smith's pressure, Smith definitely has a chance to win. Is it likely? Probably not. But I think much like the Kutayaba fights, Ankalaev can just have Smith coming in, make him pay for his aggression, and get him out of there. And I think Ankalaev does need a statement win.
I think so too.
To get a title shot. The Santos win wasn't a statement win. He lost to Paul Craig, who cost me a shoey this week. Which, by the way, if you have not seen, you can watch on my Thursday show, Props to Consider, and then maybe bet. It was unpleasant, is what I will say. It was very unpleasant, but we got the shout on Dogger Pass, so I guess it was worth it.
There you go.
The fight doesn't go at plus 100 is my favorite play on this, because Smith will force it one way or the other. And I just like Anthony Smith, man. He's going to fight for my money. And look, if he's down 2-0 going in the third, Smith's going to come out and give you 5 minutes of trying to get this goddamn thing done or die trying. So, yeah, it was not fun. It was not fun, but yeah, it was not great. But so give me Anthony Smith round 3. Give me Anthony Smith, but give me fight doesn't go as my favorite player. I think Ankalaev getting Smith out with a KO or a sub are both very live. So
I agree. I love that. And you got some Anthony Smith win condition in there. So I also love to see that.
I mean, if he wins, he breaks the slate, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 6,800 for sure. For sure. If he wins, he's easily scoring more than 70 points because he's probably going to be finishing.
I mean, if he wins in the third, if he does nothing for 2 rounds and then he wins in the third, even just with the finish prop, like even just what do you get? It's 50 points for the finish.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a Boilermaker. So it's an old timey drink. It's it's a beer and you drop a shot of whiskey into it. But I had to kind of I had to get creative because it's, in a shoe. So I couldn't drop a shot glass into it. So I had like a little airplane bottle of Fireball with a Busch Light because I don't know if you know this about me. I am some kind of classy hooker.
Busch Light. They call that Busch Latte up here where I'm from. So we got tons of class up here as well.
They were calling it that last night too. In Williams'
Jesus.
chat there, Busch Latte.
These people. I mean,
All
even I
know
have
is
more class than that.
Our college intramural basketball team, we were called the Bush Pounders. I should mention we won two games in 2 years. We were not very good at basketball. Most of us smoked cigarettes. I think all of us smoked weed. My hair was like down in the middle of my back. I'm short. I don't know how to fucking play basketball. We had a big dude playing center that took a knee. And like he thought that would stop the clock, and it's a travel, and we lost the game on free throws.
He took a knee in basketball.
I mean, our whole team, our whole team was such like a fucking disaster. But like, I'm playing in jeans, like I don't give a fuck. Like we were just bad.
Oh God!
But imagine how bad the two teams that lost to us were.
Oh, no kidding. I mean, they must have taken two knees.
Our first win, we won like 26-22, and the refs are like all friends of mine, and they were just like kind of letting the clock go. They're like, yeah, we want you. All right, like we don't like these other guys. Like, get a win, guys.
I've never heard anyone take a knee in basketball. That's a fantastic story.
Well, it wasn't good.
Oh,
It's a violation. They really called, they didn't have to call that.
No, that's true. In the YMCA, they would have said, young man, you can't do that in this sport. Look, let's get up. We'll start again. They would have at least taught him. Here's a great one. Alejandro Pantoja going against Alex Perez, man. Give me the dog on this one all day. Alex Perez, the DraftKings upside for this guy is enormous. Just a few numbers, 4.7 points a minute, second best on the card, 106.8 when he wins, third best on the card. I'm so excited. I'm hitting multiple mouse buttons right now. 1.72 points a minute is all he gives up, and he's $1,000 under his average salary. Scores 1.7 points per minute in takedowns and control time, and that's just exactly pretty much what Pantoja gives up in those categories. I mean, give me the dog, Alex Perez at 7,500. Sure, I'll have a little bit of Pantoja, but probably less than 20%. I'll be well under the field on Pantoja if I had to guess. 8,700 seems like a crazy number to pay for 3 points a minute and 92 points per win. So if he does not get the finish on Perez, and he's not going to finish Perez like Figueiredo finished him a year and a half ago. I just don't see that happening. Perez got smashed in that one. But he's looked really good before that. So give me Perez. He's had a ton of time off, which is generally a red flag. But when you're coming off of a devastating loss to the champion, I really don't mind you taking a year off and recovering and really getting your game right so you can get back up into that number one contender position. And this is exactly that kind of fight. If he beats Pantoja here, he's going to be pretty close to right back where he was. So give me the Perez side and the huge DraftKings upside on that side. What do you got for this one?
Yeah, so the red flag. First of all, he took the fight on short notice against Figueiredo. Let's get that out of the way. He probably shouldn't have taken the fight.
True,
but it's fine. It is what it is, and he has the 2 years off. I get it. He was sick, and then he missed weight. Schnell didn't take it. It's one reason or another with Perez. It's a lot of fights canceled though. I think it's ridiculous, but.
It's like 10.
I'm just gonna say this. My lean, and we talked about this before the show. My lean is Pantoja because I know he fights for my money.
Yep.
There is something in my head that is telling me do not bet this fight. And if I'm telling you I'm not betting this fight because my instincts tell me not to, and I'm on the Pantoja side, you're probably better off taking a shot on Perez here.
Yep.
If you're going to take Perez, you have to take him decision. Pantoja's got great durability. Perez can beat him on the feet with volume. He doesn't have a power advantage. If they go to the ground, Perez's wrestling's pretty good. He just has to be careful getting subbed. But I think it's kind of close to 50-50 on the ground. I think on the feet, I may even give Perez an advantage in technical boxing. He does not have a power advantage here, though. But if Perez can stay at distance and piece him up, he's got good leg kicks. Yep. I think Perez could win a volume-based decision. I'm telling you right now, there's something in my gut that says do not touch this fight.
And I like that read because this one, I mean, it could go either way. We have two experienced UFC fighters here. Both of them, like you mentioned, will fight for your money, especially Pantoja. We've seen that recently. But as far as DraftKings, man, and I think the chat is liking it as well. I like Perez here. I mean, holding a Pantoja ticket at minus around 200. I'm not going to say it's like holding a close ticket around 200 because I like Pantoja much more than Dracar close this week. But I mean, I still might have a question for you if you're betting that at minus 200. So yeah, I like the Perez side. Here is the high level heavyweight fight that we've been waiting for. Derrick, the Black Beast Lewis, going against Sergei Pavlovich. How do you see this one playing out? I imagine there's got to be some round prop that you're liking here.
I just put in the I was just putting in the bet.
8,700.
Yeah. They're $20 on it. I mean,
hey,
I don't like using Betway. They're like kind of my tertiary book, but
yeah.
I mean, this is where you get your account nuked. They're like, why the fuck does this guy only deposit to bet weird lines and point deductions? Like, why? What is wrong? And then like eventually I'm going to be like, they're like, oh shit, he cashed out 4,000. They'll look at the history and be like, ball shot, round 3 sub, ball shot, and then like one irresponsible hand of blackjack for like max bet blackjack.
Right,
like,
put it all on red.
Okay, so here's the problem. So there's 2 facts you have to get through, and I don't know if my guy Patrick is still in the chat, but Addicted to Combat has one metric that is amazing for me. So the big thing on the Lewis side is he has kind of a shitty record fighting in Texas.
Oh yeah.
But as Patrick called him, he's the Russian exterminator. He's 3-0 against Russians. So I'm going to make this breakdown about as simple as possible. If you think a Russian, and this is hey man, I'm not trying to get us banned or whatever. If you think a Russian dude is beating Derrick Lewis in Texas, you're out of your fucking mind. So I know Pavlovich has I know he has the height, the reach. I know he's quicker. I get it. But does he have any trademark wins? Like, not really. I mean, I don't know. He's still like kind of a raw prospect, even at 15-1. Like, he beat Shamil, who I don't even know if he's still at the company. He beat Maurice Green.
Yeah, he's fighting who's he? God,
like
he
he's
just
not
got
fighting.
announced.
He's fighting America. Fuck yeah. Yeah, he's fighting for America. So
save the motherfucking day, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Brady's like, I have to edit this whole video.
Just watch that movie, Brady. I know you haven't seen it. Just watch Team America and then stop editing things.
Brady has seen no movies that I
None.
But
trying to find out who Shamil's fighting. He just got announced against a killer, and I can't.
So he's still a raw prospect. The one thing I notice is he lunges in a lot. Like, he'll land one punch, then lunge.
Oh,
like
Jelton Almeida.
Pavlovich leaves himself wide open, and if there's anything I know about Derrick Lewis, is he always looks like he's tired and hurt. Always, and then he's not. And and it's just going to take one shot. So I have a bet on Lewis round 2 KO, which I put in a couple of days ago. There you go, Mushroom. We were just talking about Mushroom. All I've been betting is round 3 / decisions. All I've been doing all day. Where you been, bro? So I got Lewis KO round 2. I see it. And if you like Pavlovich, you missed a number. If you liked him, I know like Liam's big on. Sorry, Mushroom. We'll Mushroom, talk to Brady. He's our he's in charge. If you like the Pavlovich side, the time to get him was earlier in the week when the number was, like Dan saying, there was a good number on him. The number right now is kind of getting away from you, minus 145, minus 150.
Yeah.
So at this point, I think Lewis is objectively the value, but I'm playing him. And this is another one like Anthony Smith, where it's like, look, man, I'm not going to have many more chances to bet on these guys. They're guys that have gotten me into the sport. It's funny. Like, if you like a team, I was just talking about this. I go off topic for a second. If you like a team, like whatever your local team is, like, I hate the Eagles, but let's say for the sake of this, I like the Eagles. But like, you just like, whether they're good or bad, you like the team because you're kind of bound to them. If you like a fighter, you like them because they've won for you, or like they've won you money, or you like the way they fight. Like, That's why you like a guy like Jonathan, like Pierce, and dudes like that fight for your money. Like, you love those kind of guys. The thing is why do we like Derrick Lewis? Because he's one of these dudes that, like, he doesn't look like the best athlete, but the dude goes out there, he leaves it out there. He's got a lot of power. He's hysterical. Like, I see Derrick playing that. I did see, my book has it at -105, but look, man, this could be a staring match for a few minutes. They're both going to have to respect the power of each other. I don't know that I would classify Pavlovich as a smart fighter,
right?
But Lewis is like kind of deceptively smart. Like, he knows how to like kind of at least stay out of trouble for a little bit. Like, against Blades, he didn't have a choice because Blades just immediately put him in the world that he didn't want to be in.
Yeah, but, and he had to get out, and he did.
I gotta go sentimental here, and I gotta go Lewis KO. If you take him round 1, I understand that too, but I'm gonna play round 2 because, as I like to always say, it pays more.
It does. It does pay more. The easiest fight of the night for DraftKings. You got to have these guys in your lineups. You have to. Obviously, when I say put them both in your lineups, I do not mean to stack them. Please do not stack any fights, but don't this week. But don't stack this one. I just mean you know 50-50 basically. Get them in your lineups. I love the does not start round 2. So the winner of this one, if that's the case, we'll get an automatic 90 points plus whatever they have scored. So you have to put them in your lineups. $8,000, $8,200. This is the closest line fight on the card. Pavlovich has huge DraftKings upside so far in the UFC. 5 points a minute, 108 when he wins. He's 650 under his average salary. Derrick Lewis, if he does not get that first round KO, he does not do well for DraftKings. He scores 1.9 points a minute, 81 per win. Even if he does get the knockout, 93.52 points on average for a knockout win. So I might be a bit heavier on the Pavlovich side, but not by much, and it will be very close. Maybe if I play, say, 80% of my lineups have someone from this fight in it, maybe I'll go 50-30, 45, what's the 50-30, 45-35, something like that.
I was told there would be no math.
I know. I even stumped myself there on that stuff. So maybe just a touch more Pavlovich than Lewis, but I'll be rooting for Lewis, that's for sure. You see, talking to Daniel Cormier about Ronda Rousey. Did she ask about me? This dude has the comedic timing of a Norm or a Dave Chappelle. It's fantastic without missing a beat. Did she ask about me?
That's high praise.
It is, and it is okay. Maybe not. We won't go that high. Maybe a step lower. But still, he's a hilarious dude. So yeah, give me, obviously I'm not capping that. I'm just a little anecdote for you guys, but, give me a bit more Pavlovich, but a ton of this fight on DraftKings, as I do expect someone to, the judges can go get popcorn or whatever. Adelaide Bird can clean her glasses off during this fight, because we will not need you for this one. Next fight. We did it, guys. The co-main event. You guys have been killing it in chat. We're almost an hour in. We'll finish up here in about 15 minutes. Thank you so much. Hit that like button if you haven't yet. Hit the subscribe to the MMA Engine. It's me, Lou, Wheezy, and Brady, bringing you tons of content daily, every single day before every single UFC card. So be sure to hit that sub and hit that bell as well, and you will not miss anything before every single UFC card. Brandon Moreno going against Kai Kara France. How do you see this one playing out from a betting side?
Just to answer Propaholic, I believe she's in the WWE right now.
Oh, so, is she still?
Well, probably. Yeah, I don't know how Kai Kara France wins. Like, I don't know where he's better. I think he has more power than Moreno, but I think Moreno is so durable, it doesn't matter.
Right?
Moreno has a clear advantage on the ground, and I think one of the big things to me here is the change in camp for Brandon Moreno. I believe is very important. Him being at Glory tells me...
That's right, he's not at Entrim anymore.
He will most likely, I mean, look, I realize that Krause right now he used to be Nirvana.
Do you mean James, the James Krause?
Yes. And he used to be like Nirvana when they only had Bleach. And now he's Nirvana after 5 albums, where it's like, all right, already with this here and his name. Like, all right. That being said, he's still a good strategist. I imagine he is going to devise a wrestle heavy game plan. It's what seems to make sense here. And I can see Moreno wearing him out. And I have a prop, not only on Moreno to win by submission, I have him round 4 submission at plus 3,300 odds.
Ooh.
I think Moreno, once he gets him into the championship rounds, I decided to pick round 4 or round 5. You can take a poke on either one, but I think Moreno does start wearing him out. I think he makes this weirdly ugly. I understand that Kai France had success defending takedowns against Askarov. I think Moreno is just Askarov does not offer a threat on the feet like Moreno does.
Which means his takedown entries are more easily stopped.
Moreno can mix it up. Moreno and look, let's be honest. We already know how this fight's going to go. So the recommended play here, if you like Moreno, is live bet him after round 1. He doesn't win round 1s a lot. He's going to probably stay on the feet and not go to the ground because I think that's just how he's wired to fight. And Kai France can have success. You may miss it a little. Look, you may miss the number. If you miss the number, you've missed the number. But I like Moreno live after 1, and I love the sub props, and I don't love the round 4, but that's one of my flyers that I'm taking a shot on here. So, yeah, I'm not really looking to it either, but to be honest, I think – and look, I'm not going to knock the gym that Kai France with. City Kickboxing is no joke. Look at the guys he's training with. Like, he's training with a bunch of killers.
Blood Diamond. No, I'm just kidding. I agree.
But he's not training with guys he's not training grappling.
Nope.
I mean, I'm sure look, let me rephrase that. I'm sure he's training grappling, but he's not training like legends of the game. He's not in the kind of gym where that's preached as heavily. So give me Moreno to make it ugly. If you have him by decision, I get it. I just do think that at some point he's going to snatch that neck, and it's going to be late.
I love it. I love it.
4 or 5 decision is a good look. If you have,
I agree.
Your book has that. That's a good look.
I agree, and that's going to get us maximum points basically for Brandon Moreno if he can do a bunch of work in those first 3 rounds, get himself up to 30, 40, even 50 points in those rounds, and then come out with a finish in the 4th or 5th. That would be nice. In the meantime, for DraftKings, I am probably going to be under the field to this one, especially, I don't know. France at 7,300 is a bit enticing. Both guys score about the same 3 points a minute, but they only score 91 and 85 per win. Kai France, 1,200 under his average salary here against the former champ Moreno, who is $1,100. I love that, Sean V. $1,100 over his average. So, I'm on the Moreno side. I don't want to pay $8,900 for 91 points, though. And even that round 4 or 5 finish, maybe he only does get, I guess he has scored triple digits. He has scored triple digits when he does finish, so that is enticing. But I'll probably be a bit under the field on Moreno, maybe about the field, but I'll probably be a bit under on Cara France. I just don't think he's going to get this one done. I think Moreno is a huge step up in competition, and we did look at the last fight on my Game Theory show, the last time they fought in 2019. Moreno outstruck him by a ton of strikes, and that was it. There were no takedowns landed for either side, no knockdowns, and Moreno kind of just worked him over for 3 rounds. I believe there will be takedowns in this one. There will be ground control in this one for Moreno, so hopefully he'll score a bit better, which is why I'll be fading France more than I'll be fading Moreno. But at 8,900, that's going to be hard to get to. I like the $9,000 fighter. I like the $9,400, the $9,500 fighter. It's going to be a bit harder to get to, but I will have shares, and I really don't mind Moreno for cash, as I think he's probably the best cash play on the board, in my opinion. We did it, Lou. Main event of the evening, the rematch between Juliana Pena going against Amanda Nunes, or how do they pronounce it on ESPN? Juliana Pian against Amanda Nunes. Like, do these guys read English? Do they read?
They just don't watch. Words? They don't watch UFC.
Good God,
they're too busy telling us about the Yankees. Like,
yeah, no shit. What's Joel Embiid looking? I don't mean to call it your guy. Joel Embiid look like it's like all off-season bullshit. Like, again, if you're holding a -200 Dracar close ticket, or if you're paying for ESPN to watch SportsCenter, I have questions for you. The same questions regarding your mental health. So Juliana Pena, $7,000. I'll start this one going against Amanda Nunes, 9,200. I liked Nunes in the beginning of the week. 9,200 is, everybody's out here talking like we're getting some huge sale on Nunes this week. Like, she is usually 95, 9,600, but man, 9,200 is like it's just a little sale. It's like Kohl's when you get that receipt and they say that you saved $85, but they don't tell you that they just made up those prices on the front end, and you saved $1,000 on this t-shirt, sir. Congratulations. That's how I feel about Amanda Nunes at 9,200. She does score well, 3.9 a minute, 111.86, but that's over years of domination, basically. So is this going to be the changing of the guard? If Juliana Pena wins again, I mean, Nunes better just try to fight at featherweight, because I would be a little bit surprised, but I mean, her DraftKings stock has got to go way, way down after that. Pena has big DraftKings upside at $7,000, 3.93 points a minute, almost 100 when she wins, an average value of 11, and she's 780 under her average salary. She's no 6,500 this week, but she is 7,000, and she has made optimal in 2 of her last 2 fights, has tremendous takedown and control time scoring opportunities. You got to play Juliana Pena. I think everyone, her ownership last fight was like 4%, literally 4%. She'll be much higher here. I'll be over the field. If she comes in at 20%, which is kind of how I see it, 25%, because there's a lot of talkers out there about Pena, but they're not actually going to put her in their lineups. They just like talking about her. So I'll be over the field at 25% on Pena, and I'll probably be under the field on Nunes. I assume she's going to be very high owned, probably 40-some%. I'll keep mine in the 30s, maybe even in the 20s. I might just go 25-25 and say, fuck it for this one. Give me the Pena side. I think I know how you're leaning, but that's how I'm seeing this one for DraftKings. You just got to play. You got to put the dog in more lineups than you're imagining right now. What do you got for this one as far as a betting look?
So I have no bets yet. And I see both perspectives here. The one thing that all the rematch stats, title rematch stats, immediate rematch stats, every stat, underdog and rematch stats, all favor Pena. All historical trends favor Pena. Yep. There's a big deal with the eye test here with Nunes, so I completely understand that. So this is one where I'm going to sit back and I'm going to live bet if the window happens. I'm not going to get to Nunes. Even her first round props aren't great. Like none of her winning conditions really pay well here. There you go, Pat, the Russian exterminator.
Yes.
So for me, I'm going to wait and see. I lean Pena solely because of the historical trends and not the eye test. But I'm not going to put a bet pre-flop. I'm going to wait till after one round. There's some books had Pena last time live after one round at plus 1,100. I'm going to wait and see. You're not going to get plus 1,100 this time.
No.
But if you get something around plus 500 and she doesn't look hurt, even if Nunes doesn't look gassed, if she doesn't look hurt, and you're going to give me plus 500, Dan is, this guy's out of control.
He's out of control.
If you're going to give me 5-1 on her live or close to it, I'm interested. I think Pena, and I had some of these guys. I'd like Pat on this or as early in the week as I think I had him on it on Sunday. Oh shit! Look who's here.
Yes, Slammy.
I think on Sunday I told him I like the over. I like the overs in this, like over 2.5, over 1.5 here. I think if Nunes, Nunes would be smart to pace her cardio better. Maybe the first round isn't so run and gun from Nunes. Maybe it's a feeling out process to keep that cardio in check. You may get a boring first round. You may not get any takedowns. You may just get, and if it's 5 minutes of standing up, you easily favor Nunes in that spot. So I got to think there's going to be a little more of a feeling out process here. Over 2.5 is almost even money. I think it's a great look. I think Nunes has potential to finish her late. I think Pena has potential to finish her late. But I'm going to wait to bet a side after round 1. I may even wait till after round 2. Maybe it's 1 apiece. See what kind of price I can get. If you're going to give me Pena back to like her money line, or it probably won't, but you get her at plus odds and they're 1-1 going to third. Maybe I'll take a shot on Pena at that point. I'm cool not having a play on the side. I do like over 2.5 as my favorite play for this fight.
Nice. Yeah, I agree, man. So a slow start for Amanda Nunes would be ideal. Probably what I would predict as well. She's going to want to, bank that cardio, like you said, but also there's talk of she changed fight camps and she's training by herself with no one else. And I don't mind that so much. I mean, breaking from ATT is interesting. But I guess we're just going to have to see. I was going to say I don't mind that. That doesn't make any sense. But we're just going to have to see what happens here. But, man, Pena looks like I mean, if she wins again, can you imagine? I don't even know what I'm really trying to say. But if Pena wins again, she's going to obviously, like you said, break the slate at $7,000. And it's going to be pretty impressive, I think, to get 2 wins over Amanda Nunes. I don't think anyone has done that. So, mad props to Pena will be offered if that's the case. Guys, we did it. We finished all 13 fights. You guys, the chat has been going crazy in a good way. I absolutely love it. I was exhausted coming into this one. I'm fully energized thanks to you guys in chat and Lou for helping me out there. So I'm ready to kick my Friday off. I know it's almost 6 p.m. Central, but now I'm ready to start my Friday. So let's go. We have any questions? I've seen a couple things. Lou, if there's any, put them up on the board, but it looks like you are oh, geez. Well, I don't drink alcohol, so I have an allergy. Like, my whole face turns red, and then I get sick for a day and pop every single.
I'm allergic to shoes,
so
I'm allergic to shoes exactly. At this point. Like, I'm not even sure if I use the same. I know it was from the same set of shoes, but I'm not sure if it was the same shoe as last time. I'm now, by the way, I'm now 1-2 in shoey bets. I'm 97 losses away from being glass gel.
Oh, geez.
I do not wish. Oh, you got a
Let's
question.
not get there.
Monk, you got
more
a question.
DK points. Oh, that's a good one. Wow. You're really giving me the bottom of the barrel here. Jesus. I guess Nicky Gums maybe in the hopes that he gets a finish over Ihor. Otherwise, second, I'd probably say France, because I think that one goes, like Lou said, 4 or 5, and France could, get some striking points. Alex Morono, get him on out of here. Give me Matthew Semelsberger early. That's kind of how I would like to see that one. Yeah, there you go. Most confident bet of the card. I like Rafa Garcia, to be honest.
As most confident?
Oh, confident bet. I was thinking, I read that wrong. Confident bet. You go ahead and start this one.
For a side, it's Moreno. For a prop, it's the Dober under 2.5, or fight doesn't start round 3. My third most confident would be the Kosuke Blood Diamond fight doesn't start round 3. They're just 2 fights that stylistically, the way I see the path to victory, I cannot see it hitting the judges. But then again, last week I had a Paul Craig fight go the distance, and I had Jai Herbert fight go the distance. So what the hell do I know?
Right. I like Semelsberger. I love the Moreno. Like I said, I think he's the best cash play. So I'd give you Moreno for sure. But I also like Semelsberger. I don't think Morono is going to have much to do with him. So where was
is Ozzy big on Dracar Close this week?
No, Ozzy's on Rafa. Ozzy, I'm pretty sure he hit me up on the chat. He's I fucking love Ozzy.
Oh, that was the plus 160. Oh, he said he had. Okay. I always want to check out what's going on with them. And then
Ozzy and Martian are the best. I always listen to them every single week, and I try my hardest not to echo what they say, because they have such good. I just don't want to be echoing people. Obviously nobody wants to do that. But man, if you're not watching Ozzy and Martian and Ozzy podcast, you better get on it. Them, lucrative.
Martian's a Philly dude.
Yep, Martian. Yep, exactly. Those guys are fantastic. I absolutely love those guys. So yeah, shout out to
all right, Ozzy's on
Ozzy.
Rafa. That's good.
Yeah,
it makes me feel a lot better there.
For sure. Yeah, when I hear those guys on my dog picks, I'm like, yes.
Clint just posted that he likes Semelsberger KO, and I'm like, delete bet.
Yeah.
Bet on. I'm just busting balls, Clint.
I'm joking.
In all fairness, I'm pretty sure Clint doesn't watch the show.
Nay, that's all right. One day he will.
Clint knows he's my guy. He knows it
exactly.
But also, Clint, don't bet that.
Well, guys, unless you have anything else, this has been a series. I say this every week. It seems like this has been one of the most fun shows that I've done. So much thanks to chat. Much thanks to Lou. You can find me at MonkMMATics. You can check out my game theory video if you haven't seen it yet. Break down all 13 fights from a statistical DraftKings perspective. Salary Voodoo has also been out since Wednesday, where we pick 3 fights from you, the community, who we want to see broken down via a Salary Voodoo perspective. And this show, and then Sunday morning, you can catch me right here on the MMA Engine channel, where I will be recapping all of UFC 277, CM Monk's picks, his bets, and the DraftKings optimal lineup. Any kind of questions you guys have, you just want to shoot the shit on a Sunday morning about how bad Dracar Close looked in that fight, be more than welcome. Dober or Matthew Semelsberger. I think Semelsberger makes optimal more often than Dober does, but Dober has that good salary voodoo on him. $9,000 is like the 3rd or 4th best salary to play. But his opponent, I believe, is going to be very much sneakier, sneaky tough than Semelsberger's opponent. That's how I kind of see that one.
I will comment on that when we get to my stuff.
Yes, please do. And that's all I got, guys. Follow me, follow the MMA Engine, and follow all my guys on the MMA Engine, Lou, Wheezy, Brady. And if you're following me, I'm sure you've already gotten to them, but just make sure. Go hit that follow.
Lou Betya on Twitter. This show, my Thursday prop show called Props to Consider and Then Maybe Bet, where you can witness all the stupidity I did yesterday. Ruining a shirt and a pair of pants and a shoe, and I just have to get a new wardrobe kind of at this point. But and Brady is coming up after this with his best bets. I believe I make an appearance on his panel tomorrow. I think it's going to be Eric Weezy and I doing the last minute best bets. But Brady and I have a new show I just want to tell you guys about. As Raw Torque brought up, Dana White's Contender Series, Brady and I are doing a quick and dirty 25-minute show, 7 p.m. Eastern on Mondays, right before Clint goes on. It's sandwiched in between the main event breakdown and Clint's. We went 3-1 this week. The only fight we got wrong was the fucking Pleasure Man. We went against the Pleasure Man. So what a jerk. But I have schlong COVID because of the shoe. So we did a pretty good job breaking down the 3-1, but honestly, last week was kind of easy to break down. I thought, of course, I was big on Pfeiffer being from Philly, but we got 5 fights this week they're relatively closely lined. There's only one that I think is minus 300. I've already done the tape. Brady's doing the tape tonight. I got some pretty good reads, I think, for this week, and then the week after that, Bo fucking Nickel. The story of Bo Nickel begins. Yep. So Brady and I are doing that, and we're excited because look, man, not everybody has time to watch long shows. We understand that, so this is as quick and dirty as we can do it, and we hope you guys enjoy it. And more importantly, we hope we keep making you money and getting the picks right. That's all I got. And Slam Pig, glad you have internet back.
Yes, Slammy. Glad to see you in here. So, guys, thank you so much again. Hit that like, hit the subscribe before you head on out, and have a great Friday. And as always, I want all of you to enjoy the fight. So enjoy, and we will see you next time.